All right, so what we're going to do again, so what we were going to do in this program is we were going to write a program that asked a user to enter a number. So the minute that I've asked a user, what do I have to do, Michelle? .util.asterisk, very good. Okay, and what else? So just in case. Asterisk. Okay, great.
Oh, we
All
should
right.
do both every time now?
Just in case. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's most of the time it'll work with the utility. It doesn't hurt. It's not overkill. And can you guys see a little bit better right now? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is this. So I'm going to go ahead and create my scanner. Scanner KB equals new scanner.
Why do you use
Keyboard. It's just short for keyboard. Okay? Okay. Or
He said it earlier.
No, I
Scanner-
didn't know either.
scanner KB is just short for keyboard, or a lot of people would just put input.
I think I asked like a while ago and he
using
answered.
new names.
So what's up?
I like using new names for
Yeah.
scanners.
New names like,
Oh, Sire Patriots is canceled?
really?
This Sunday.
Okay. Alright, so make a note. Kyle is not on task. Alright. Okay, so the good thing is it's recorded. Alright, so that being said, okay, and your voice is recorded too, so when mom contacts me, evidence! Alright, now, what we're going to do now is this. What do we have to do? We have to do, we're working with a while loop, and again, what we want to do is we want to continually ask the user for a number. If that number, as long as it's positive, we're going to spit out the multiple times 5. If it's a negative number, what are we going to do? We end the program. So there's a way that we can do this. There's a couple ways that we can do this. But the first thing that we want to do is this. Okay? We have a number. So here's one of the things that we don't need at this point. And this is a way that we've learned. So again, I'm going to give you just a classic example of a for loop. So int j equals 0.
Wait. You didn't do 4.
Oops. While j is, j is less than, let's say 5. I'm going to say system.out.println, and we're going to just say hello. Okay? And then j plus plus.
Don't you want to go into a negative number though?
No, because what I said is I'm going to just go over the standard structure of a while loop. So if I take a look and I run this, okay, this runs 5 times. And j is hello. J is less than 5 at this point. System.out.line hello, j plus plus. Now notice j is outside. Notice j is outside, which means unlike a for loop where I can sometimes make an error and use j outside of the for loop, when you can't, if it's been initialized there, I can always access j. So for example, if I were to write this as a for loop, this would be for int k equals 0. Oops. K is less than 5. K plus plus. And I did this. This is the exact same thing. So watch. And
Wait 1 second.
Makes no
Why?
sense. It makes no sense.
okay, so take a look.
Both have that.
Boom. So if I take a look at my console, these loops are exactly the same. One is a while and one is a for. They do the exact same thing. A lot of times it's user preference. Any for loop can be written as a while loop. Any while loop can be written as a for loop. The while has the flexibility and the power, a little bit more powerful, that you always have to use a variable that is initialized outside of its scope. Therefore, you never worry about an error using it outside here. So for example, I can say j equals 7 right now, and I get no error. But I can't do anything with k because k is locally initialized. Now, can I do that? Can I make k outside and use k outside? Absolutely, I can. But in this case, that's a little bit more of the power of like the separations between the two. With a while loop, you can never really make that error. Okay, with a for loop, you can. Kyle first, yes.
What are variables called that like are not local?
State variables. State or global. Okay, so for example, j is a global variable because it was made inside the method, the main method, not anywhere else. So because it's not attached to a while loop or some other type of method, it can be used anywhere inside anything. Whereas K is created inside a for loop, specifically created there. It can only be used inside there. Okay? Yes. And then I'll come to you,
I
Daniel.
think we both have this problem, but when I'm gonna run the while loop, it's gonna run infinitely. For
So
how-
J is equal to 0, J is less than 5. Do you have your incrementation step?
J plus plus.
Then it shouldn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're
So J is less than 5, so what's happening is you set J equal to 0. J is equal to 5. Did you put your brackets in?
Oh, you're
yes.
right.
Yes.
Do you have a semicolon here?
No.
Where?
Here.
No.
Good. Okay, let me just take a look real quick.
Wait, I just want to read it.
I'm just curious because it looks the same to me, but maybe I'm missing something.
J can be used
Wait.
later because non-6 plays.
That's
Printed exactly what I did. Where's the confusion?
Never mind then. Then maybe you're.
Kayla, it's exactly right.
Yeah, I literally.
Let me.
Okay, try
There's
it.
nothing wrong with this
Mine just
code.
worked.
Yes.
No.
Does the local and
Oh, sorry. Hold on. It was Daniel first. Guys, listen up. Listen up. Because in recording, if we talk a little bit too much over each other, it's gonna get muffled.
Are while loops on the AP also? Or?
While loops and for loops are on the AP. Both of these are the backbone of what you're gonna be tested on.
Alright.
Because
Yes.
does the local and global thing like only apply to the main method, or like
No, we're not. Again, you're not tested on the main method.
She's right.
Okay. All right. So what's going to happen now is this. So that being said, we have our structure of our while loop. Hello. And we have our structure of our for loop. So what we wanted to do again is we're asking the user input a number. When they put that number, we're going to spit out the multiple of 5. However, if it's negative, we're going to spit out goodbye. So here's the difference with a while loop and a for loop. So what we're going to do is just going to delete that for right now. Okay, we'll delete that too. So I'm going to continually ask the user for a number. So where is the question going to be asked?
The top.
Within the loop.
It's going to be asked within the loop because I want to continually ask them again and again and again. But our initializing variable, here's what we're actually going to do. Boolean running. Okay, and right now I'm going to set it equal to true. Boolean run equals true, yes.
Couldn't you also do the while loop with true and just break it?
That's why I'm going to get there first. But this is the way you're going to be, they're going to want you to run it. Okay, so, and there's also, especially when you become a professional programmer, you're not going to use breaks. Okay, because breaks are antiquated code. You're going to want to use a while loop based contingent upon an actual Boolean variable. So what we actually do is this. So take a look. Boolean running equals true. While running. And this is where you got to this is where it's going to be a little weird. So we're going to say system.out.println, please enter a number. Okay. So please enter a number, and I'll just go like that. And then what are we going to do? We have to input or put that user input somewhere. kb or int num equals kb.next int. And again, by the way, this video is going to go straight up on my YouTube channel after this class.
You have a YouTube channel?
Well, for every Milken student has one, because if you have a Google Apps account, YouTube is owned by Google. So what we're going to do is that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say system.out.println. Oops. You don't need to find anything. Sorry about that. We're going to say system.out.println. We'll say num plus space times 5 equals plus, we'll say num times 5. Simple math. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test this for right now, okay? Now take a look. What do I not? And here's the weird thing. This is where you kind of have to start thinking outside the box. Do I have an initializing variable? Do I have a logical variable? Yes, I do. Boolean running equals true.
Yeah.
It's based on a conditional. Okay? Now, what do I not have?
A return statement?
Nope.
something
Yeah.
that will
A step expression. It's quick. Okay? Step expression. So if I run this, though, take a look. Please enter a number. 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 10. It's not gonna just loop cycle. It runs the statements once and then loops again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this loop. So what I'm gonna do is this. I need to do a checker right away. Okay? If num is less than 0. Now, Bryce mentioned something. We can do one of two things. We're going to go with the way that I want you guys to do it. And either way is fine.
Can't you do a nested while?
Huh?
Can't you do a nested while loop?
Why?
Just why not?
Wait, so you want
A nested while is too much.
you want the if inside the parameters, right?
Yeah. So if num is less than 0, we're going to do two things. We're going to say, so what we're going to do is this. If num is less than 0, and what we'll do is we'll do system.out.println, and we'll say goodbye. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to running equals false.
Ah.
So what we've done is we've overridden the statement. Okay, I've made a little bit of an error, I think, here. Okay, negative goodbye. Yeah, so it still prints that out. So what we have to do is we're going to put this into an else.
Don't you to indent or it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. Only in Python, C++ does indentation matter. Okay, so if I take a look now, I'm going to say 5, enter, 10, enter, negative 5, goodbye. I can't type anything more into my loop. Okay? But now, again, this is the way that we want it. We want to override our Boolean variable. Notice that we don't have a counter variable. The while loop is going to continue running while running is equal to true. So we need to set it. So what's happening here is once it's negative, we say goodbye, running equals false. It finishes up, sets running to false, and still tries to run it again. But in this case, now it's false. While false, it acts the same thing as a for loop. If the conditional statement is false, because it is now false, it skips over it. Okay? So what is this way working on? It's working on a trigger. Okay? Now there was another way that Bryce brought up. Okay? So the way that Bryce. So the other way that Bryce brought up is I can do this. I can just use an if statement. And I can also use the keyword break. Now, where did we learn break from before? Switch case. A break at any time that it has happened, if it is used inside an inner for loop, it will break out of the inner for loop. If it is used inside only the inner for loop, when it is used in an outer for loop, it will break out of the outer for loop. I will never give you an assignment, and you will never encounter anything that uses more than one nested for loop. Okay? You will never encounter anything that uses more than one nested for loop. So in this case, what's happening is we say system.out.println goodbye. So at this point, right now we're out of here. And so here's the tricky thing, and you have to keep this in mind. I print running. Okay? What's going to happen? So if I say 5, 10, negative 4, it's going to break, and what is it also going to do? It's going to say what?
It's gonna print 0.
It's not going to print 0. It's going to print goodbye, and no, you had it right. True. Goodbye and true. Did I ever change the value of running?
No.
But notice what's happening. The break breaks you out of the loop and just gets you the heck out of here. Did we ever change running? No. Is it overkill to do this? Running equals false.
Yes.
It's a little overkill to do it. Are you covering your bases? Yeah. You're just covering your bases just in case, because for example, now that we've got it like this or whatever, I definitely don't. I say running equals false. I don't have to use an else statement or anything like that. But basically, these are redundant. I can do either or. The only difference is in the way that this style is right here, I'm just using a break. I only need to have an if. But if I'm using this way, what's going to happen is it's going to run through this if. It's still going to finish out the loop and print it. We don't want that to happen, so we need an else. Make sense? You got that, Michelle?
This is so easy. Like, I totally get this when you're doing it. then I just forget the steps. Like I totally get.
That's
it.
fine. But the good thing is that right now again that we're recording this, so you guys will have this extra reference. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yes.
Can you say one more time why the running comes out true?
So again, so what we're gonna do is we'll set it back to here. We'll do it this way. We're gonna put a break again. So Kayla, explain to me what a break is.
It goes to the.
It just ends the loop
Yeah.
cycle. If it's
Breaks out the loop.
if it's an inner loop, it only breaks the inner loop. If it's the outer loop, it'll break that outer loop. And again, the inner loop is a nested for loop, a for loop inside of a for loop. You'll rarely, can it happen? So I shouldn't say never. Can it happen that you have a for loop inside of a for loop inside of a for loop?
Why would you want to do that?
Because I'm mean. So no, but whatever loop it's associated with, it will break out of that loop. It doesn't break out of everything. Okay? So if num, so what's happening here is the reason. So I'm just gonna do negative 8, 5. Oops. There we go. The reason that it says goodbye equals true is because what's happening is our trigger is while Boolean running equals true. Conditional statements need a Boolean. This is a Boolean variable set to true. I could use x is less than 5. Why? Because that's going to give me a true or false, right? X equals 6. That's going to give me a true or false, correct? So what's happening here is this. While running system.out.println, so what happens is because I break, I've never got anything that's actually changing the value of running. It just exits the loop. Okay, I've hit this break statement, I've hit a negative, boom. Running never changed. Okay, but Java is what we call a top-down program. You can't go back up. So once it's gotten to, so loops allow you to continue looping and running and stuff like that, but once you've broken out of it, it can't, when it gets to here and says, wait, running's true, I gotta go back and keep running this. It doesn't work that way. You have now bypassed this completely. Yes?
So when I'm going to use a break, do you have to print out running and see if it's going to say goodbye true?
What I did is you don't have to.
Oh, you don't have
All I did was I just wanted to show you
Oh, okay.
that running's value never changed.
That's-
Technically, running's true. Technically, this loop should be working. But because we put in this break here, we escaped it. Now, again, what I would be looking for, a break is fine. If you do it this way, this is okay. Now, on the AP, while a break is fine, they're going to be looking more for something like this. They're going to be looking for running equals false. They're going to be looking to make sure that you take care of that trigger. Okay? Now, again, would I mark you off? No. On the AP, would we probably have a chief reader call up and make that decision? Possibly. The chief reader would probably side with you, but why take the risk? Also, when you're a professional programmer, your boss will yell at you if you don't do it this way. You want to take care of that trigger. Just set it to false. Okay? And will your boss get mad at you if you do it this way? No, he'll probably be even more happy because then you really can't screw up. Okay? Is it overkill? Yeah. Would this be yelled at in the 80s? Yeah, because you're wasting memory. Now it's not that big of a deal. Okay?
Now we have unlimited memory.
Yeah, well, not unlimited, but you got a good
Unlimited.
supply.
We have-
All right, so I'm going to stop this.